Hello everyone, I'm Rachel, a Radical Soul Untangled. So I thought I'd do a quick 3-card energy check-in for today. See where we're at. I wonder if our little saga is going to continue. Or not. I really feel like those other readings I've done are really pretty connected. Maybe for the same, kind of cohort of people. Or maybe for other people that it will resonate for them when they reach that point in their lives. But anyways, just going to give these a couple more shuffles. And okay, so we'll do head, heart, and environment. I really like this with this deck. So for the head, we've got the Hermit. All right, nice. For the heart, we have 9 of Pentacles. And for the environment, we have 2 of Pentacles. Okay. Yeah, and just for funsies, let's look at the bottom of the deck. See if that clarifies things. A lot of Pentacles energy. We got the King of Cups. Oh, we got the 5 of Wands. Okay. So, wow, out of this whole spread, we'll do 6 cards. Out of this whole spread, I'm using these as clarifiers for the initial cards we drew. So we got 1, 2, 3 Pentacle cards. All right. But we have, no, everyone but swords. Everyone but swords. And we have the Hierophant instead. So it started off with the Hierophant in your head. So this tells me that you're probably like really starting to pursue different options, in spirituality. Maybe you're looking, through a books or YouTube channels. If you found this, maybe it's because you're looking for guidance through YouTube channels and through different mediums, like not just video, but I mean, like, maybe you're looking up tarot readings and you haven't done that before. Maybe you're looking up other kind of divination tech, or maybe you're looking at somebody who does more of a educational kind of format. But yeah, so this Hierophant, is I really love this card because instead of him having his authority from his position, like within a church, and thus being something that's institutional, his authority just comes from his own experience, and his own spiritual journey. And we might think that a person like this is like a gatekeeper, that we have to impress them in order to prove ourselves so that we can move forward in our enlightenment, that we have to get their attention so that they can give us the guidance that we need so we can, ascend. But really, it could be anyone, and nobody can really stop you from ascending once you've decided to ascend, and that there's so many options nowadays for spiritual guidance, so you'll almost certainly find someone who will resonate with you. And this 3 of Pentacles is in reverse. So maybe it kind of means, though, that you're kind of focused on this idea that there has to be this one perfect, spiritual guide, maybe, or maybe you're still in a phase where you're going, well, but this person said this, but then this person seems to have said the opposite. So I don't know what to think. So to me, this is reminding you that this is actually all, a collaboration, even if sometimes what sounds like contradictions on the surface, when you really look deeper within and when you take the time to reflect on it and compare it with your own experiences, you realize that they all actually kind of work together pretty well, pretty consistently. So, so don't get caught up in trying to find, the one right, perfect spiritual instructor. Don't go, but, and spend so much time like, questioning, what their motives or their credentials or anything like that, because it came out in reverse, because the 3 of Pentacles is usually about collaboration, and so you kind of have to see that this is a creative endeavor, that even if all these, readers or other spiritual guides, like on YouTube or in books and everything like that, aren't conscientiously working together, like aren't collaborating, you know, in physical, that on a spiritual level, we kind of all are, you know. You'll eventually, you know, cut through it and you'll see the continuity, you know, of the messages. Um, you know, this could also mean, though, came in the reverse, could also mean that as you're starting to ascend spiritually, as you're starting to find some guidance that does resonate with you, you're starting to maybe find yourself at odds with other people in your life and projects that you were working on. All of a sudden, you're kind of maybe starting to have some degree of spiritual enlightenment, and you're starting to have these like aha moments. Hey, this would work better. This would work better. But like if this was something at work, you might think of an idea that would, you know, make things a lot more efficient or a lot simpler, you know, streamline things. But sometimes it's like, oh, but, you know, corporate rules or company policies or things like that will get in the way. And you may be chafing against that more than before. Whereas maybe before you were able to kind of work within that system and be like, oh, okay, I didn't know that. You might be like, you might be getting more frustrated with that. So that could be another interpretation, because a lot of times that's kind of what happens. As you start to evolve spiritually, some things will become a lot less tolerable. You know, and so, you know, it's not so much that you're bringing disharmony and discord, and people might point it out and might act like you are, you know, might try to convince you like, hey, you know, you need to be a team player, you know, you need to get on the same page as everyone else, you know. But, you know, stay in your heart, stay heart-centered, and yeah, still don't be afraid to challenge things, but, you know, do it in a smart way. You know, pick your battles, in your heart. So we have 9 of Pentacles, because that's interesting. So here we have 2 of Pentacles in the reverse, for your environment. So this is telling me that you're having like, you might be having a little bit of financial confusion about something coming up, but overall you're still feeling pretty good about yourself. Like maybe there's a money issue, but you're getting a lot better at reminding yourself, yeah, but I still got my health, I still got my home, you know, I still got my job. Things are going to be okay, you know. So here we have, you know, she's got, this is like the, you know, so here she's been harvesting, you know, and she's like sharing, you know, there's so much in the harvest was so abundant, that she's opening up, she's willing to share. There's a lot of green, you know, see how the background is green, not just because the leaves, but the background overall is green. So that's very heart chakra energy. This is a very heart focused card. And yeah, we see the other colors, but obviously green just predominates. And we just see what a joyful look on her face is as she shares. With a hawk or an owl, I can't quite tell. But birds are usually kind of seen as like messengers. So she's kind of just putting herself out there. She's sharing her success. She's sharing her abundance, both like, you know, in generosity, but also just kind of putting it out there, you know, not in a show-offy way, but just like proud of her accomplishments, proud of what she's achieved. And okay, no, that's a candle. I was gonna say, and oh my God, is there a snail in this? Like in the Rider-Waite, I was gonna get super excited. No, just a tiny tea light candle. But yeah, so again, you're just feeling very abundant and very proud of your accomplishments. You know, things have really been coming together and working out overall for the most part. And it's kind of, I'm going to say this is actually putting you in a King of Cups energy, rather than saying that, so like a real high degree of emotional maturity that you're able to, you know, share with others. Again, like this sharing idea. And it shows kind of a lack of attachment. I like this boat, to me, kind of shows the ability or willingness to walk away from something that's not serving you emotionally, you know. And again, I take water sources, natural water sources, to mean like just the infinite abundance of divine love and being emotionally replenished by, you know, your connection with the divine, your self-love. You have like those little speed lines, right? like trying to get our eye to focus in right at the heart, you know. He has a little water crown, so he's not officially royalty. He's just somebody who is, you know, very much has a solid control over his emotional state, solid mastery, and that maybe now people are coming to him for guidance. So maybe people are coming to you for guidance, people, because you're being so open about sharing your success there. So maybe people are coming to you for some advice or some guidance lately. That's kind of what I see there. But in your environment, so this is kind of good, because in your environment, you got Two of Pentacles, but in the reverse, the twos are usually about, you know, choices or dilemmas. So you're kind of, maybe have some uncertainty. You have some kind of options that came up recently about, you know, something in your resources. So again, health, wealth, housing, you know, other material resources, things like that. Career, that's the other one, career. So you might be having some choices, and I like this one, how they do it. It's got a lot of sacral energy, because even though it's like a peach, I kind of still take that to mean, you know, sacral energy, so creative and sexual energy. So, so she's trying to come up with, oh wait, oh, I was gonna say that this has like a material bag. So she's got two things on lassos, the two choices that she's weighing. But one is pentacle is, you know, something physical, something tangible, and the other one's like an energy ball with like a like a, you know, 5-pointed star there. So she's like, so it's like a pentacle, or it's like a pentagram even. And so she's kind of weighing her options there. And I take this to kind of usually mean like weighing, like, you know, material options and seeing how they might serve your highest and best good. So this is showing me that there's maybe some uncertainty about that. And maybe because some sort of competition seems to have kind of sprung up. And that is kind of putting you in a bit of a uncertain place, a little bit of confusion. You know, so the Five of Wands is kind of like everyone out for themselves. You know, everyone's competing to get to this thing, and it's not usually like, you know, like a gladiatorial battle where everyone's, you know, backstabbing, but it's kind of like a mad dash. You know, it's kind of like a mad scramble. Everyone's, you know, somebody might push you out of the way, not because it's personal, but just because everyone's got their eye on that same prize. So it also kind of reminds you that that's like an illusion. You know, competition is not always necessary. So maybe just kind of evaluate whether that competition is necessary, because it's that kind of conflict. It's conflict for the sake of, you know, because that arises because of competition, because that's inherently a conflict. So you might feel a little uncertainty. You feel some kind of conflict has come up, and so you're trying to figure out the best option. But in your heart, you know, things have been going overall pretty well. So it seems like you're not really overly disturbed by it, because in your head you've really been seeking spiritual guidance. And these might be really, these three I feel like are kind of connected. I feel like these three are connected, and then we've got these three connected. So I feel like because you've been like pursuing like some sort of spiritual guidance and starting to get some clarity, you know, you're kind of becoming aware. Maybe you're doing gratitude journals, you know, maybe you're doing gratitude lists, and you're feeling both like very abundant, and you're also feeling a lot more emotionally centered. Like maybe you're not perfectly, you know, at the pinnacle, but you're probably maybe feeling the most emotionally balanced that you've ever felt in your life. So you're like, oh my God, I am mastering this thing that I've been working on for years. It hasn't seemed to, you know, get ahead very much. All of a sudden I started pursuing things in a spiritual sense, and now I'm taking stock of what to be grateful for. All of a sudden I feel just a greater degree of this, look how peaceful, he is. Look how detached he is from conflict. But the material world, your environment, is still going to remind you that there are things to deal with, that there are going to be like choices to make, and they might not necessarily be very clear or easy, especially as you're coming into this new spiritual understanding. I'm starting to feel like this is maybe, yes, again, more of, as you're looking at things spiritually, you might be feeling some conflict, you might be finding it more difficult to collaborate with people. You might feel like everyone's out for themselves, and that's not really how it needs to be. And so you're feeling like a little conflicted. So maybe you're feeling like maybe this job, or this path I've been on isn't necessarily the right path for me. I see all this conflict, now that I have, this spiritual clarity forming within me, I'm starting to see like all these unnecessary, there's this conflict that's not necessary. And, it's harder for me to collaborate with people because, I'm seeing things in a different light, and they're still, slaves to, dogmatic thinking. And I'm just not in that place anymore. Maybe it's time for me to consider, moving on to a different, path, different career, So maybe that's it. Maybe that, okay, that seems a lot more clear. You're starting to think that you want to feed this. And now that because before you would think that these feelings from the outside were what was making you feel terrible. Now you're starting to realize, no, I feel pretty good now most of the time, but I'm seeing how things around me are, putting me at odds now, splitting my energy, and now maybe I need to start considering a new career or new job, and not to run away from things, but to find something that serves my highest and best good overall. So anyway, yeah, that seems to jive, at least for me. But anyway, I hope this reading makes some sense to you. I hope this has helped you, maybe given you some kind of clarity. If you have any questions, I mean, yeah, you can write, you can write in the comments if you have any questions. If you're interested in your own personal recorded reading, I do those. I'll have the links in the description of how you can contact me in order to, so I can set up one of those for you. And anyway, my name is Rachel. I hope this reading was helpful for you. Thank you so much for watching, and please like, share, and subscribe if my readings resonate with you. Thank you very much. Take care.